YouTube, hello, it is I, your cult leader, your cult father, your cult daddy, Keronzi, back once again. This is the second attempt at the intro, where I exploded at everyone, because apparently everything just went broken, but everything seems stable now. Right, we are returning to Fantasy XIV, where we are going to be doing some unlocks, and some job quests, and some other shenanigans. So yeah. Thank you for stopping by. Like, comment, subscribe. It helps out the channel grow, gets us noticed by the algorithm. Let me know those comments down below, so I'll respond to you in kind. I'm all out of sorts because of that last intro. So, hey, click some links down below. There's the Lord Predicts Merchal. There's my throne list. Raising money, if you want to bother with any of that. Potentially, maybe, I don't know. But you have to stop by the Twitch stream to do that. Most money's going towards Zelda stuff, but also internet stuff at this point, I guess. And there's a cosplay going on. Your cult something or others. Yeah, something like that, Gray. Everything seems stable enough now. Serves me right for playing with things, trying to get things working better in the background. God damn it. That's a shitty start to a stream. Let me finish this unlock for a minute, Shin. And then I guess we can do some book stuff while you're over on the server. Because I think this one has a solo instance, right?
Which? Oh, the Omega.
Yeah, the Omega, yeah. Because, yeah, Mox got locked into one when we were doing the hunts, right? Can you tell me tomorrow's plan? Yes, we're going to be playing Repo. It's gonna be probably about 7-ish. I'm not 100% sure on how many people we're gonna have. I'm hoping it is no more than 6, because I'm fairly certain that the extended multiplayer mods are now all broken. And why am I coming over here? God damn it, I'm on autopilot. Yeah, I think they're all broken, so most of them, like, I had to get rid of the one that I was using, and I haven't worked out how the other one works yet. But if there are more, then that's fine, we'll deal with it. I was already just going straight into a solo instance? Okay. Quare. Take a good look, Ilya. I think you'll find wreckage down there. I think you'll find the wreckage down there quite familiar. Oh, that's the Deltascape. I could always jump around if my laptop has issues. Yeah, that is true. I'd rather have everyone involved, though. Humph. How inviting. I'm ready when you are, Ilya. Say the word and we'll take the plunge. Well, no time like the present. And I need to shrink you down, because you are too big. Right then, into the yawn we go. I am with you, mortals, along with what scant wisdom I can provide. Thank you, Midgard Soma. Sploosh. Things are much the same. I'm sure people would be willing to switch places with me now and then if it comes to it. True. Yeah, I'm sure we can figure things out. We'll be fine. Well, the rift seems much as it did before. And we appear to be mercifully solid. But I do detect some changes. If I'm not mistaken, there are fewer eggs floating in the ether. Welcome, Alpha Group. Your prompt arrival is appreciated. Omega. 'Twould seem your experiment continued in our absence. Affirmative. Progress has been satisfactory. Approximately 50% of the test subjects have been eliminated. Each test world hosts an ongoing contest, wherein the strongest eliminates the weak. The process is certain, conclusive, inevitable. Every result matches the predicted outcome. Every result, except yours. Do these images cause you distress? Please examine them closely. Without suitable simulation, you may not exceed your calculated probability of success. Your survival is crucial to my study. Through you, I must continue to explore the contradiction I have discovered in your otherwise impotent kind. The ability to triumph against overwhelming odds is one which I must acquire. Foolish machine, what hast thou to show for all the years you have passed since the culmination of our war? Naught save thy continued existence. Hast thou no thought for what befalleth thy home star? Your attempts to provoke me will not succeed. I will follow my programming. Fight, win, evolve. Then I will return to blip, bloop. Error. Accurate rendering of planetary label impossible in current mode of communication. Terminating exchange and return to priority experiment. Bloob indeed. Alterations to equipment parameters detected. Recalculating projected combat capabilities. Blip. Complete. I will now commence recording your practical performance. Proceed, Alpha Group. Overcome the obstacles in your path and reach the end of the course constructed for you. Pretty much, Gray. It seems we have our orders. Shall we cut a path through the chaff then? Where did you get cards from? Ah, those are some nice cards. Which means... One moment. Card. Game. Play. Play. You mean to play a part in the proceedings this time? Of course. Of course that's what you meant. Well, we do have authorization to fight in this area of the Rift. So I suppose there's nothing stopping you from joining us. Welcome aboard, Alpha. Wait, so is Alpha an astrologian? He has cards. Sure, Choco Mario. Huh? Alpha's a nerd.
Alpha's a nerd.
True. Oh. I have a mind the trap. Well, you're stuck for now. True. And Grace says Haitian.
Hi, Gray.
So make sure that Nero gets some boosts. This seems to be a problem. Really? Oh, well. Don't like that these are all just constantly shaking. Right, we're ready to... Nah, apparently not. Fortunately for you, I came prepared for this occasion. What a perfect opportunity to field test my latest creation. Uh-oh. He's got his hammer back! He's got his whole armor back! Behold, the mark! Okay, hang on. Let me work out that. 48th? Yes. And behold, the mark 48 Iron Nero, complete with the new and improved Mighty Mjolnir gun hammer. Step aside, Garland, and bear witness to the devastation. Yes! Let's go, Nero! And it's his battle theme as well. Nero doesn't get affected by cardio? Or by Peloton? There is nothing I can do about any of that. Does it come with repulsor beams and an arc laser? I'm not sure. We'll have to ask him. This seems to be the end of them. And of the path as well. As far as operation durations go, that was pushing the limit. Still, it should suffice. In between scrambling to stay out of the way of Nero's new toy, I found myself wondering about that card you used, Alpha. Care to explain? He boasteth that it is but one of many tools at his disposal. Be not deceived by his appearance. Like all of Omega's creations, Alpha was chosen for his prowess in battle. Bleep. Analysis complete. Is that mask in there Omega? No. Something, though. Results match revised predictions. At this rate of improvement, you will fail to qualify as subjects of note. Midgard Soma, your parameters are notably inferior. Dost thou yet believe me the mighty worm I was in life? That incarnation perished long ago. My fate was sealed the moment I delivered my spawn unto this far-flung star. That they might be suffered to remain, I did offer up my life unto Heidelin, abiding thenceforth in spectral form, a servant to be summoned in her hour of need. Your account correlates with my records. It explains why I have arrived on this planet only to find my journey's purpose was lost. Of necessity, my priority shifted to repairs, even as I search for a new target of sufficient strength. Yet I do not understand why you aid these creatures. I should think the reason plain, but mayhap 'tis not for a soulless machine such as thee. Be thee and thine was my home laid waste. The sound of thee, thy very scent, visiteth upon me a tempest of rage. But I but lend these mortals what little aid I can render. Illogical. If your purpose is to facilitate my destruction, it would require an entity more powerful than you were at your prime. Without the means to muster such might, your presence here is meaningless. The experiment continues. Alpha Group, your next opponent awaits you within the Sigmascape. Enter and commence the contest. Oh, well, the kettle's here as well. The kettle is empty. Where? The Sigmascape, eh? I shall set to work analyzing the unspeakable horrors within. That should do it. Our new base of operation is up and running. Now, what I'd really like to do is delve a little deeper into Omega's past, but as our dragon seems disinclined to indulge my curiosity, we had best focus on the task at hand. Let's get on with conquering the occupants of this Sigmascape, shall we? Sigma what now? No slowing down. Sid is ready to discuss the foray into the Sigmascape. Before you cross the threshold, we should take a moment to discuss where we stand. That is the test world you need to conquer. Conquer? Yeah, we're gonna conquer it. Not conquer it, we're gonna conga line it. The Sigmascape. Is that a mask or a face? The castle was certainly a surprise, but this is verging on disturbing. And we currently have no idea what it might signify. My first instinct is to dive straight into our analysis. The problem being that without a point of reference from within the Sigmascape to start from, we have no way of knowing if we're even analysing the correct data. which means you're just going to have to go in blind. Hardly the best way to enter a fight, but needs, must, and all that. Are you up to the challenge? Can I ask you to join her, Alpha? We seem to be fine out here, but Ilya will need your authorization if she is to do battle inside the test world. And keep your wits about you, Savior. Your next opponent could be almost anything. I'm trying to think as to what that mask could be. I'm fairly certain I've seen that mask or similar in other Final Fantasies. I'm not 100% sure though.
Well, it's pretty much
Where?
like the
It's like the Harlequins from...
yeah,
It's one of the Void sent.
the drama. There's
Oh,
two
yeah.
masks.
Yeah, tragedy
they
and
use.
comedy.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's now unlocked, so that's all good. Okay then. Let me do that. Let me do this first. No, I've sent you a party invite, by the way.
Yeah.
And you're just ignoring me.
Might be.
Fair enough. You can ignore me all you want. Should we jump into a queue very quick? Into some queues then?
Yeah. Can do.
Let me do this. Yeah, that's fine with me. Jump into a main scenario. We'll see where we end up. Well, that was decidedly quicker than I was expecting. is. Oh, I've got a map. Ow. Back. Why? Hurting. I don't need this pain. I really don't. Yeah. Excuse me. Sounds like you need to stretch, Ronzi. But trust me, I have, and it's done nothing. I just need to be constantly stretched out, and that's just not feasible. I don't need to live my life in a rack.
I'm pretty sure you do.
No, I mean, you can do that first and let me know how it goes.
Oh, my problem isn't really with my back, it's with my shoulder and neck.
Yeah, I mean, they'll stretch it out, right? That'll help.
No.
No? Well, yeah, well, exactly then. Shush.
Crucifixion, maybe. That would put the stretch into the arm and shoulder.
It was not nearly as long as I was expecting it to take. Seems we were running 2
It is Friday
DPS.
night.
True. That is true. Where are we going? Ah, Castrum Meridium. Right, can't dance partner you. That's fine though. You know, I realised I probably should have used something like Red Mage. Ah, well, never mind. Just get some experience on it, but it doesn't matter.
creatures actually move them.
Yeah, it's impressive, right? Oh, look, and 2 more have spawned now. Oh. Wait. This way now.
Oh, you remembered Peloton.
There are very few points in the opening area, up until that boss fight where Peloton is even any use, seeing as it's basically pulling wall to wall. When you're in combat, Peloton has no effect.
I know.
Otherwise, yeah, I would do it. I mean, I could push it just for fun and it would do nothing.
Yeah. Do it.
No, it's pointless. Why would I waste the button press?
Doesn't cost anything.
No, it doesn't.
Free. Much like subscribing on YouTube.
Or on Twitch. Well, subscribing costs on Twitch. Following doesn't. But maybe you should subscribe on Twitch. I don't know.
And buy the merch.
Buy the merch. Consume the merch. It'll help pay for my back treatment. Maybe.
You want to see Ronzi on the rack?
Sure. Sub. I don't know. Sub. Support. Pay money. Maybe. I don't know. There are certain things I'll sell out for. Not necessarily that, but you never know. If enough money is given.
Oh yeah, get them to face each other because that's a
Helpful.
marvellous way to aim the AoE. Almost as helpful as casting Benediction on Sid.
What are you talking about? That is 100% helpful. That is like the helpfulest, right?
Sure.
Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
confuses me is people still think with the two that they should run off to a side rather than just stay in the middle.
Which ones?
When you get the
Oh,
two,
yeah. Do you want to use your lemon break?
those are good.
Alright. Let's head to the Reach. And spend some of these tomestones I've got. Not that. That up. Can I get two of those? It looks like I can get two of those. Probably just do one of them. What are you trying to equip? You know what? Sure. You say it's better. I'll take your word for it. Now we get some stuff in the book done. So fairly certain I've got a book to pick up for this week as well anyway.
Okay.
Where to start? Binding coil turn 5, I guess. As good as any. Donnerstrecht confirm. Said coil 5, right?
I think that's what you said.
No. It's where we're going. I did say binding coil turn 5.
Are you sure?
Yes. Drop. we can get out just a little bit quicker.
When I think of all the drama that caused when it was current,
Oh.
yeah, the amount of people struggling with that fight, the amount of people claiming that other people hadn't cleared it because they used a slightly cheesing it strategy.
Okay.
There was a bump
Right.
in the arena that you could escape some of the knockbacks.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't see that as the cheese or an exploit, really.
Well, some people did.
Like, I mean, it's in the arena. You can use it. It's not like you were exploiting game code or anything like that, right?
See, I don't get it. But
Whoop.
blue ran out. Oh, happy fun time. And happy fun time too. Withdraw.
Look, hopefully.
Sure hard is what we wanted, not extreme.
Oh fuck! Did I choose hard? Oh fuck! You're right. Fuck it. Sorry, I'm subjugating this to you twice.
Here you are. Sorry, that is.
Right, let's pick the right one this time.
Less time than the hard.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I was wondering, well, I wonder which one will be quicker here.
Still don't like this one.
Yeah, that's why I said Happy Fun Times 1 and Happy Fun Times 2. Oh god damn it, he's immune. What the hell?
We didn't have
Oh, right. Well, yep, rip. This side. There we go. Leviathan down for another week. Hopefully he's not in my next book.
Yeah, where do you think it?
I know. Yeah, that's one line.
Here's an interesting thought for you, Ronzi.
Yeah.
Is the American refusal to use metric measurements because they all have a foot fetish?
Yes. The answer is yes. There's no one here to tell us otherwise.
Doesn't look like you have any Americans in the chat at the moment either.
There they are, they're not paying any attention.
So we can take that as a confirmation of truth.
Yeah. Confirmation bias.
It's not a bias, it's an absolute.
See on T9. Oh. Good and evil, the war eternal.
Why does that make me think of Soul Calibur?
I'm not 100% sure, mate.
I mean, I don't understand my brain.
Good and evil, the war eternal. If such is my fate.
And the question is, do I get 2 lines? The answer is yes, I do.
What have you been doing to earn such favour?
I've been going and giving her shrimp every day. Not to the orphans like Mox does, just directly to Chloe.
I could make some unpleasantly unflattering comment about shrimp or, you know,
could.
small children being given said shrimp, but
Hey, Mox is giving an entire orphanage shrimp.
multiple cases doesn't make it better or worse, you know.
At least it's not, you know, days old pineapples. Or pineapple pudding.
No, you chill it out, 'cause that stuff will keep quite a while.
I don't think Zoe is chilling it, though. That's the issue.
Does she have an ice crystal?
It could just be that she doesn't think to.
Well, it's not exactly the sharpest tool in the shed.
Alright. You're right, I did jinx it. Whirl Eater Extreme is back in again.
Oh joy.
I won't subjugate you to it for a second day.
Why not? You threw me in against the goddamn Moogle twice.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to throw you against the Moogle a third time because Thorn March Extreme is in here as well.
No, thank you.
Exactly. Yeah, Thorn March, well, it's the Bolt of Embers this time. Second coil turn 2. Earth's Font is back. Though we are going to go and see P1T6. What's her name?
I don't remember. By choice.
Sophia. Indeed, Kuro. Sophia. Do 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 do. Alright, well with that done, what I'll probably do is I'll probably start working on class stories.
Okie dokie.
Where to start? Probably Gunbreaker. And I think that means I need to go to Gridania, right?
How far into the... You haven't done any of the story quests, have you, other than the unlock?
Other than the unlock? Correct.
Then Gridania, yes.
If I was to try and get a screen grab, where would be the best place for it? Right here or out once they move from here to somewhere else?
Well, depends what you want the screen grab for.
I was going to use it for a like a thumbnail on the video.
Probably better to do it in Gridania then.
So they will move to Gridania, yeah?
I think they do go into the city proper, yeah.
Okay. Hired gunblades. Radovan is keen for you to put your newly acquired skills into practice. Now that the gunbreakers of Eld have yielded a portion of their wisdom, you are ready to take blade in hand. Rather than spend moons and moons training you, perhaps it would be best to find employment first. We can use the time between assignments to refine your abilities, but where should we start? The Adventurers Guild? Yes, that sounds quite promising. I suppose we are adventurers after all. And tell me, Ilya, are you familiar with this sort of thing? A little bit. Oh my, in that case, we couldn't have found a better guide. Well, there is no time like the present, shall we? I like the quest acceptance music. I'm assuming that's what I'm going to be getting once we've gone through all of this.
I can't hear it.
That
Pre-discord, so.
is fair. You know, adventurer sounds a lot more romantic than hired muscle. Even though that's essentially what it is. Now that Mother Mione has made us as formal members of the Adventurers Guild, we can start accepting assignments. In fact, we've already been given the details of a potential client in need of a bodyguard or two. A man named Lacencio is waiting by the Wailing Barracks. Sophie and I will try making our own way there to get our bearings. I mean, even I don't even know what that is.
Yes, you do.
It's the Archers Guild.
You just don't know it by that name. Because they renamed all the Aetherites because people couldn't remember things like that.
Oh, the Lancers Guild, okay.
Well, that's why it's the Bowmasters. It's the Archers.
Yeah. We thought it best to wait for you before we introduced ourselves. I feel strangely at home here. It's not at all like the cities in the Empire. You must be the ones the Adventurers Guild sent, yes? Oh, thank goodness. Something dreadful has befallen, well, threatens to befall, the one and only Editha. You mean to say you're unfamiliar with the most gifted harpsichordist who ever lived? Whatever possessed me to hire such uncultured It appears my breath would be better spent briefing you on the nature of my request. A few days ago, Editha received a most unwelcome missive, a death threat to be precise. At first, I deemed it nothing more than a crazed scrawlings of some harmless churl. That was until, during a recital, a stone was thrown at her, missing her by a hair's breadth. I have, in my capacity as her manager, cancelled all public appearances until the perpetrator can be brought to justice. I fear, though, that my delicate tulip would wither and frail if confined to her dressing room, and she has herself expressed a desire to stroll freely beneath the canopies of Mianketo's amphitheatre. I see where this is going. You want us to take her for a walk, is that it? If that's all we have to do, we should count ourselves lucky. A threatening letter, a brazen attack in a public place, who knows what will happen next. But she can't stay indoors forever. I say we accept. Splendid! Without further ado, I shall have Editha prepare for her promenade.
It's this quest. I thought it was part of a seasonal. I'd forgotten that it was part of this.
Okay.
You're going to enjoy this.
Alright. We best proceed carefully. If the culprit knows that Lascencio asked the Adventurers Guild for help, they can probably deduce that Editha will be coming out of hiding. We should see if anyone bears a grudge against her, so we know what to expect. And we'd better look around the amphitheatre for places where an ambusher might hide. Alright. Oh, Editha. Even a moment deprived of her sumptuous harmonies is akin to an eternity of unimaginable torment. When, oh when, will she grace me with her splendor once more? Why, yes, Editha has been the talk of Brindania since her debut. Her skills as a musician is without question, though I sense that many of her admirers are more interested in her bizarre stage garb.
Sound familiar?
Okay. Not yet. Is she one of the songbirds? I don't think so.
Think in-game reference.
Okay.
But can you think of another musician who's as well known, if not more well known, for their bizarre stage garb?
Oh, Lady Gaga. The frickin'... I'm thinking of the meat dress. Oh no. Okay. Okay. Let's see what this let's see what we're going with this. Know of her, I certainly do. I would consider myself one of her many admirers. In all honesty, I do not care for the way some of the others oogle her. If the rumours about Editha receiving death threats are true, one of those lecherous scoundrels must be behind it. Oh yes, she's very talented. Don't think you sound too pleased with it. It sounds like this Editha is quite the following. Whether that is due to her musical abilities or her eccentric stage persona, it's hard to tell though. Ilya, have you met Miss Odine? She's a harpsichordist like Editha. That poor girl. What is the world coming to? With that's a gifted and beautiful young performer such as her must hide away for fear for her life. It beggars belief. It must be one of her followers. I have seen the way some of them look at her, and it makes my skin crawl. With fans like that, who needs enemies? So, what did the other locals have to say? Yes. Most of them thinking that one of Editha's admirers is to blame. I sense there's more to it. I think that until we have more information, we should treat everyone with equal suspicion. To be on the safe side. Personally, I prefer to carry out a more thorough investigation, but we best not keep our clients waiting. Once you are ready, let us return to Lesson Show. You've learned all the Gunbreaker actions and traits to level 60, detailed descriptions. Okay, yeah, sure. Thank you for the lurk, Tatty. Ew, a solo instance. Okay. Lesson Show, why are you in full plate mail? I'm not sure this is really necessary, but okay. After hearing so much about Editha, I can't wait to finally meet her. If I were Lesson Show, I would have hired an investigator to catch the villain instead. An agent of inquiry or some such, perhaps. No, I don't think... No. Well, maybe. I mean, he'd be a good fit if this is going where I think this is going. Editha assures me that she will be ready in 2 shakes of Azizi's tail. Whatever that means. Ah, my chaperones have arrived. How wonderful! Oh, to finally feel the sun's warming rays. I am reborn! They weren't joking when they called her eccentric. Ugh. All this prancing about is going to draw unwanted attention. We'd better get this over with as quickly as possible. Sophie, Ilya and I will escort her to the amphitheater. Why don't you stay behind with Lasincho in case we need to hurry back? Fine by me. I'll keep an ear out for any signs of danger and I'll come running if you call. Although I am fully prepared to join you in guarding Editha, and even dress for the occasion, I will defer to your professional opinion and remain here. But promise me you will keep my sweet Petunia safe. I'll leave it to us. Are you ready, Ilya? La la la. What a beautiful day for a stroll. Send in the Mandeville man. Yeah. We only need to escort to the amphitheater and back, but keep your eyes peeled. I'm asking us that you refrain from something. I wouldn't dream of it. What? Editha the Nonchalant. Needless frolicking. Don't we see... Okay. You know, I'm just gonna let them talk. Up. Yeah, no. No one's interested, but perhaps they can tell us who these bandits... Quiz the locals, okay. I hear that Editha has become something of a recruiter blade. I do hope she returns to grace the stage once more. Is it true that her magic is inspired? Is it true? Her magic is inspired by all the wondrous places she has seen on her travels. Editha has only recently begun performing in Grindania, and she has already amassed a considerable following. I have heard, however, that some of her harpsichordists are envious of her success. The whole of Grindania delights in Editha's magnificent melodies. Every other musician pales in comparison to her. You are escorting the lovely Editha? Please allow me to make a record of this day's events. Do you get the impression... Oh, well, we've got bandits. Fine. Oh. Y'shtola's sister is helping us. Let's go.
Have you got your tank song?
I have now. I mean, I don't think they're gonna pose that much of a threat that I would need to do that, but sure.
It's
Up.
more about ensuring their attention is on you.
Yeah. Really? Ouch, that is painful. Who's that? Let's leave these references to me. I and the other wood whalers will see to this. Excuse me. Crazy people. Because I think we've covered that much. Too quiet, they must be expecting us. Masked assailant. Oh, it's the one who was so very enthused with it. Oh, how did you get a coral into here? My, what a naughty little rabbit. It seems you've wandered too far from your warren. The stage is set for your curtain call, though it cost me a pretty penny to rent the place. This will be the last time you will walk all over my stage with those grubby little paws of yours. Yeah, he's got those two sorted. Simple enough.
Yeah, just mind those AoE.
I'll lead it away from her. Why are you pulling aggro? Oh. That's why. Oh, Jesus, okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. God damn you, asshole. Oh, needed to use my frickin' super blight there. HP was a little lower than I would have liked. Okay. The show's over. Now take off the mask before I cut it off. Before I cut it off. Cut it off and your face with it. Miss Odine? I might have guessed, but what's Editha ever done to deserve this? That harlot doesn't know the first thing about real music, and she thinks she can steal my fans, my stage, with those appalling outfits of hers. I won't stand for it. I won't. What happened here? I've heard that Odine wasn't exactly a fan of Editha's, but I never thought she'd pay to have her killed. And now we know that the highwaymen in the woods were in on her schemes too. A few days back, with the help of Odine's carriage, they held up Odine's carriage in the shroud, but she made them an offer worth more than the valuables she was carrying. Mind you, I don't suppose there's many of the bastards left after today. You've done us a good turn, so if you ever need anything from the God's Quiver, don't hesitate to ask. Now that the danger has passed, Editha, Editha will at long last be able to make her triumphant return to Miaketo's amphitheatre. There's still one thing I don't quite understand. Why did those highwaymen attack me and Radovan in the woods? Maybe it's because of your ears? I imagine Odine told them how much I love wearing my favourite bunny crown. They probably thought you were me. Ho ho! Those ones aren't real Ver-Ears? At least, I don't think so. Actually, I was wondering if I might have a word in private with the three of you. But there are 4 of us. Yes, but only if I include you, which I'm not. What have I done to deserve such treatment? Well, I suppose a lady is entitled to her secrets, but before I return to my duties, I wish to express my gratitude for your part in today's events. You have both performed admirably. Now that that pesky manager of mine is out of the way, let's go to the Great Loom Growery. I mean, those are real Ver-Ears. Because she is one. I mean, huh?
I think she was referring to the ones on her crown. She was saying, I hope they're fake and they're not sort of real ones that have been cut off a real Vieira.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I am right in saying that she's meant to be essentially Lady Gaga, right? At least that's what I'm thinking.
The whole vibe about, you know,
eccentric costumes.
Outrageous, outrageous outfits being as much of a draw is definitely a Gaga reference.
Yeah. I haven't the foggiest idea what this is about. What could it be? I'm almost afraid to find out. You risked life and limb to protect me, so I feel that it is only fair that I explain myself. For one moment, please. Okay. What? Nani? You mean to say that she was a sylph from the very beginning? Oh, yes. This one feels much more comfortable now. It is fun to use glamours and play the harpsichord, but a little tiring. And this one spent so long in walking one's house that this one nearly died. These ones need sun rays to flourish and to live. That is why this one had to go outside, even though dangerous ones was all around. This one hopes helpful ones will understand, and will not tell simpering one. Listening ones will be sad if this one can no longer play sweet, sweet music. Your secret is safe with us. I'm ever so grateful. Promise you'll come and listen to my harpsichord soon, yes? Teehee. Not quite the conclusion I was expecting, but a satisfactory one nonetheless. I must say, you acquitted yourself rather well, Ilya. It normally takes a lot longer for novices to grasp the fundamental differences between a gunblade and a regular sword. It was originally developed by my people in the Third Astral Era. The march of the Allegian Empire had driven us to the barren wastelands, where even survival was a constant struggle. Our queen, Gunhilda, was closely guarded by loyal soldiers known for the unique swords they wielded. These royal vassals were known as Gunhilda's Blades, a name that was abbreviated and applied to the most distinctive of their weapons, the gunblade. Meanwhile, the Allegians were developing firearms capable of launching projectiles over great distances. Excuse me. As they were similar in appearance to our gunblades, we refer to these weapons as guns, a term which is now commonplace. So effective were these new weapons on the battlefields, the Queen's Guard decided to specialize in smashing through the enemy lines and destroying them as swiftly as possible. Thus did they come to be known as gunbreakers. Even after the fall of the Allegian Empire, these techniques were... Sorry, that nodding off just tickled me. Even after the fall of the Allegian Empire, these techniques were passed down to each new generation. My clan are the descendants of Gunhilda's royal guard, though I am all that remains. It is my duty to see that the art of the gunbreaker lives on, even if that means entrusting it to an outsider, such as yourself. If you like history lessons, you two will get along like a house on fire. I'd best leave it there for the time being. I don't want to overwhelm the last. The best learning is done in the field, however. As pleasant as Grindania is, I am eager to see what the other city-states have to offer. Then, may I suggest Uldar? Their markets have goods from all over the world, and I'm dying to take a look. Uldar it is, then. Sophie and I will go on ahead. When you arrive, seek us out. We shouldn't be hard to find. Well, looks like I'm not getting it here. Screenshot here. I don't really think it matters where I get the screenshot though, right though.
No, they kind of flit around. Some of the newer jobs are like that.
Yeah.
Although you meet them in one place, you don't necessarily keep going back to that same place to interact with.
Yeah. I think his is as good as any.
There's one other thing that I don't know whether it was intentional or not, but it tickles a certain part of my brain. Gaga has a name for her fans.
Right.
She calls them little monsters.
Yeah.
And so the obvious Gaga themed artist turns out to be effectively a little monster.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know whether that was a deliberate thing that devs decided to do, but how my brain likes to make all kinds of odd connections.
Congratulations, Twitch. You get to be part of this process of me making... Oop. Me getting screen grabs and everything. Yeah, thumbnail fodder. For very particular things. As into group pose. Which does remind me, I need to redo the one for the pugilists, because I didn't realise I could adjust the brighting, and obviously the indoor places in... Well, most of the frickin' job and class things in Grindania are all inside, which are really dark. Right, we're just gonna pause right here. Well, YouTube, you also saw all of that as well. But yes, we're gonna pause right here very quickly. I need to get another drink because my mouth is parched already after all of that. And I should probably have something to quench my thirst. So we'll be back in a second. Alright, YouTube, we are back. It's good to finally get away from the noisy marketplace. Not that this watering hole is much quieter. Still, it's a paradise compared to anything you'll find in the Garlean territory. I think he's just in a sour mood because he can't find any work. You're not wrong there, Sophie. I'll keep looking, though. Ilya, you'd better train yourself until we find our next client, which, with any luck, will be soon. How about right now? Has found a citizen of Uldar in need of a bodyguard. Alright. The walls that surround this city remind me of my homeland. We built it as a fortress to keep out invaders. Not that it made much difference in the end. Oh, not this again. Perhaps you could lighten the mood by sharing our recent bit of good news? Yes, it looks like we found our next client. Nothing's been decided, but a lady named Oriel is waiting for us near the Gate of Thal. We'll meet you there. Okay, all the way over there. Gotcha. I hope this doesn't involve any babysitting. Perhaps I should let you do the talking. I'm not supposed to talk to strangers. Well done, little Timmy. You're the bodyguards, right? We need your help. It's my husband. After he walked out, I thought I'd seen the last of him, but now he's got to keep. You've got to keep him away from us. I'm not sure we're qualified to settle domestic disputes. Radovan, this sounds serious. Hear her out, would you? Very well, my apologies. Please continue. His name is Gerant. He won't leave us alone. He keeps jumping out to harass us whenever when we're by ourselves. If we were to go outside of the city gates, I'm sure he'd follow us. And when he does, I want you to scare him off. I doubt he'll show himself if he sees you have bodyguards, so we'll wait somewhere nearby. When the moment is right, we'll give him the fright he won't forget in a hurry. Yes, that ought to work. Tim and I will leave through this gate, so you should find a hiding place. It's time that bastard, excuse my language, learned his lesson. Well, this can't go badly. Is that a giant mammoth? That is a giant mammoth. Alright. Was not expecting to see such a large of a butt plug here, but sure.
That's for advanced users only.
Yeah, apparently. If he tries anything, make him pay. Are we waiting for Daddy? I don't think Tim quite understands that Mum and Dad have split up. This husband of hers sounds like a nasty piece of work. We best be ready for trouble. Remember, we've got the boy to think about. I'd rather not cut a man down in front of his own son. But I will if I have to. You follow my lead. Get away from her! What? Who the bloody hell's are you? Friends of Oriel, now walk away while you still can. But I only want what's best for my boy. Your boy? You've got no right to call him that. He belongs to me. This is your final warning. Bother them again, and you won't live to regret it. Haha, that'll teach him. You are wonderful. Worth every gil. Thank you so much. It was our pleasure. Not quite so sure. Something doesn't add up here. Although there wasn't much for you to do, your presence lent weight to the words. But most importantly, the client was satisfied with our work. Yes, she did seem rather pleased with herself. Listen, you two, there's no time to explain. We have to follow that woman. Hell's bells. When Sophie gets one of her hunches, there's no stopping her. Yeah, and I think she's right. I knew she was up to something. Why would she bring Tim all the way out here? What are we supposed to do with a runt like this? Here we feed him up. He might be worth something one day. She's selling her own child? We've got to stop them. Wait, is that... Enough of this! Stay away from my son. Son? Eh? Ah! You should have kept out of this, mate. Too late now. Oof. Quickly, we've got to help him. Ugh. Not now. Ilya, it's up to you. Oh no. What's up with Radovan? I mean, I'm sure we'll find out, but... Oh, Radovan. Of all the times. Gods. Why now? Damn these sieges. Oh. Yep. Oh, never mind. You saved us. How can I ever... Daddy! Ilya, I let you down. I let everyone down. But, Sophie, what happened here? I knew from the moment I met Oriel that there was something not quite right about her. It wasn't until later I realized. She's a somnus addict. Once it takes hold, it changes you. She was able to hide her addiction from most, but not from me, and probably not from her family either. Yes, I've known for a while, but I had no idea she'd do something like this. Gods, if I hadn't started gambling, this never would have happened. My debt spiraled beyond my control, and she ran to get away from me, to start a new life with our son. The shock of losing them made me realize I couldn't live like that anymore, so I vowed to turn my life around and worked my fingers to the bone to repay the money I owed. But by the time I finally found the courage to track down Oriel, it was too late. She'd made new friends, the wrong sort of friends, and had to resort to God only knows what to make ends meet. It became too much to bear, and Somnus was her only escape. Nothing else mattered to her, not even her own child. So you see, it wasn't my own life I'd ruined. I made her who she is today, and that's why I don't have it in me to hate her. What will you do now? I plan to send her to Frondale's Fronastery. They can treat people like Oriel, although it costs more than most folk can afford. My savings should cover it for a short while, at least. We'll take it one day at a time and see how she responds to the treatment. I know she might not recover, but I can't give up on her. Obviously, she's in no fit state to look after Tim, so he'll be living with me. You could have been killed confronting those slavers. If you wind up dead, there'll be no one to look after the boy. From now on, you'll have to think before you act. I will, I swear it. Thank you all for everything you've done. That poor child. Sophie's quick thinking may have saved him on this occasion, but I fear his hardships are far from over. I, on the other hand, only succeeded in disgracing myself again. It's not your fault, Radovan. I think you owe Ilya an explanation, though. Yes. If we are to fight side by side, there is something you should know. Though I served as an Imperial conscript for a time, after I disobeyed a direct order, I was sentenced to solitary confinement for more than a decade. Like many of the inmates, I was forced to wear a Magitech collar. Ooh. The wardens could use them to administer a severe electronic shock any time they pleased, and pleased them it did. The paralysis will eventually wear off, but even now, years after removing the collar, my whole body will suddenly seize up. It's as though the pain never left me, and could reawaken at any moment. That's rough. Thankfully, my condition appears to have improved somewhat since leaving the Empire. Perhaps one day I will be free of it, but until then, there's no telling when it might strike. Radovan saved my bacon more times than I can count, so it's only fair that I do the same for him. We've been through thick and thin ever since the first time we met in the Garlean Gaol, or jail. I was awaiting execution along with the other captured members of the Resistance, as well as various insurgents and undesirables. Among them were several somnus addicts. Even in the Imperial jail, there were always ways to get your hands on it. When I saw Oriel, I couldn't put my finger on it at first, but she had the same look in her eyes as those lost souls. Anyway, where was I? So Radovan had been meaning to escape ever since he was first imprisoned, and I was secretly digging a tunnel, a few ilms each night, over the course of about 10 years. The only thing was, it went the wrong way. Then one night he suddenly burst through my wall. Why did you have to tell her that? You know I'm far from proud of my miscalculation. Well, things worked out in the end, didn't they? The other inmates made such a racket when you came crashing in, it drew the attention of the wardens, and all hell broke loose. In the confusion, Radovan and I forced our way past the guards, and by some miracle we managed to avoid their searchlights. And finally, we were free. Free to return to my wife and child, to my homeland, or so I thought. While I'd been rotting away in a Garlean cell, everything I knew, everything I'd loved had been taken from me. I should have been there, but I couldn't even. Gah! Enough of this. We've spoken over long as it is. Well then, where to next? I think I've had my fill of Uldar. What say we try our luck in Limsalonisa? I'm sure a change of scenery will do us the world of good. Yes, I like the sound of that. Let us convene at the local Adventurers Guild. I mean, I assume that's the yes, the Drowning Wench. I mean, yeah, that'd be like Baderon to be running the Adventurers Guild. To be honest, I'm fairly certain in the opening, because we started the Limsa, he said that he was running it. So, what do you think? You look good. A city founded by pirates? Now that's a terrible idea if ever I heard one. With all the cutthroats running rampant, I'm surprised there's anyone left. But what about the views? The sea breeze? There'll be plenty of time to enjoy ourselves once we've a few more gil in our pockets. Ilya, we're still waiting for word from the guild, so perhaps you should find somewhere for a few practice swings in the meantime? Radovan didn't seem too impressed by the idea of going for a swim at Costa del Sol. You don't suppose he's scared of water, do you? Confessions of a Flaming Mongrel? Radovan is hoping for a nice, straightforward, no strings attached assignment. You ain't gonna get it. You'll be pleased to hear that the Yellow Jackets has offered us an assignment. After taking on more than we'd bargained for with our previous clients, we're hoping this one will turn out to be relatively straightforward. We haven't heard what it entails yet, but I bet it's something important. A man called Fatag Yafatag has arranged to meet us in the Bulwark Hall. Let's go and see what he wants. Well, I mean, that's the Marauders Guild. I think. No. But that... Okay. I had no idea what that was. Never mind. Alright, that's a funny app, but no, I need some balls clapped. At FF7. Wrong Final Fantasy we're playing here. Why, thank you.
Right, okay.
Their uniform seems to be a bit billowy for my tastes, but I do like the colour. So, these yellow jackets uphold the law? I imagine they have their work cut out for them around here. Thank you for coming at such short notice. Time is of the essence, so I'll be brief. We want you to protect Guildwet, who was, until recently, leader of the Flaming Mongrels. They were once a gang of raiders, but eventually settled in Limsalomisa to extort and rob their way to a position of considerable influence in the criminal underworld. That all ended when Goodwalt turned himself in. No one saw it coming, not even the other Flaming Mongrels. He's due to give testimony in exchange for a reduced sentence, and that's not just about the crimes he's committed himself, either. All of the gangs he had dealings with have ample reason to silence him before he spills his secrets. He's currently being held in Morabay docks. Your job is to see that he reaches Limsa in one piece. So you want us to act as bodyguards to a criminal? Don't like the sound of that. We'll be protecting the information that's in his head, which could be used to bring countless other lawbreakers to justice. It sounds like a worthwhile cause to me. It is, and before you ask why we're hiring outsiders, it's to avoid attention. If I pull too many yellow jackets from their posts, the gangs will figure out what's going on. Better to give the impression that it's business as usual, while using professionals like you to escort him in secret. We still need to secure the route, so I'll go on ahead and see to the preparations. Come and find me at the dry docks when you're ready. Before we begin, we should find out more about this Goodwet. While it's important to place trust in our clients, I don't want to repeat the mistakes we made last time. Alright. If the rumors are true, the Flaming Mongrels are involved in most of the money lending and extortion that goes on in this city. Guildwet was at the center of this web, overseeing every aspect of these clandestine activities. Now that he has finally found the decency to give himself up, I imagine that his former associates would rather he kept quiet concerning their dealings. Oh, yes, everybody's heard of the Flaming Mongrels. Their modus operandi. God damn it! How could I not say that? Jesus Christ. Is to offer loans, increase the interests to the extent that their mark has no hopes of paying it back, and enforcing the poor soul to obey their every whim. Oh no, someone's playing music. That could be bad.
You want to know what rest? Blah 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 boop up boop boop boop.
Trucian. I am not at liberty to discuss an ongoing investigation. I can say, however, that many Yellow Jackets believe heartless curs like Goldawets deserve nothing less than death. He and his rogues have left only tragedy and despair in their wake. Mercy would be a waste. This Goldowatz has gone quite the reputation for himself. It seems Fatag was telling the truth. Did you hear anything useful? Bits here and there. Yes, it's just as Fatag said. Goldowatz certainly has a lot of enemies on both sides of the law. Radovan, it's not too late to refuse. Think about what you're doing. Trust me, I have this. Now, oh, shit. Didn't mean to skip through that one. Trust me, I have. Now, let's say no more on this matter. We have a job to do. I expect he'll be in fetters, but I'll still be keeping an eye on him. If he tries to escape, I'll make him regret it. We can't let anyone get between us and Goldowatz. If he dies, it's all for naught. All set? Good. Then it's time to bring out the prisoner. I present Goldowatz, Scourge of Limsa. His life is in your hands now. Guard him well. Thank ye kindly. Are you sure you've got the right man? Quite sure. Now listen carefully, this is important. We've scouted the road ahead and we've spotted a group of unsavory figures lying in wait. The plan is to put them down and rush past before anyone realizes what's happened. Well, if that's how you'd prefer us to handle it, then very well. But we'll need someone to take the lead and cut through their ambush. I choose you for that role, Ilya. Show me how far you've come as a gunbreaker. The rest of us will stay close to Goldowatz and fend off any that try to flank us. Fatag, I give you my word that we'll get him to Limsa, even if I have to carry him there. We're depending on you, Ilya. Once you've cleared a path, we'll be right behind you. We'll regroup at Oshan's embrace and assess the situation before moving on. Alright. I appreciate what you're doing for me, lass. Don't push yourself too hard. If things take turn for a worse, fall back. Cutting a swath through enemy lines, striking where they're most vulnerable before they have a chance to counterattack. This is what gunbreakers excel at. I'd go with you if I could, but my first responsibility is to keep Goldowatz alive. Radovan's orders. I'm sure. Alright. There is something more to this. There always is, right? never mind. Alright, but where's the second one then? Am I going blind? Probably. Oh, I just went right past it in the first place. Sorted. On to the convene points. Pretty poor attempt at an ambush. Without the elements of surprise, they're nothing. Yes, very impressive. But I'll save my thanks until we reach Limsa, if you don't mind. I bring bad news, I'm afraid. Those men weren't here to ambush you. They were only lookouts. The bulk of the enemy forces lie ahead. We'll take the prisoner to a safe hiding place until those rogues have been dealt with. What? Why wasn't I informed sooner? We only just received the information ourselves. I'm to take the prisoner into custody, while you are to return to your post until further notice. As for the hirelings, their services are no longer required. I don't think you're a yellow jacket. Now hold on a moment. Look, if you've got a problem, take it up with Commodore Rayner. They're his orders, not mine. Alright, you've made your point. Well, that's that, I suppose. Nevertheless, I'll see that you receive the full amount as agreed. It was a pleasure working with you. Something about this doesn't add up. Surely it would make more sense for Tag to go with them. Besides, our agreement was to see Guildwat to Limsalomisa, and that's exactly what I intend to do. You two come with me. It looks like the shoe's on the other foot this time, so I can hardly refuse. And come on, before he does something he will regret. Oh yeah, like I said, I don't think that was a yellow jacket. This is her idea of a safe hiding place? She took him inside. My guess is correct. There's no time to waste. Nothing for it but to follow him, I suppose. Stop this at once. Stay out of this, sellswords. My friend's dead because of this filth. He's got no rights to live, so why would you protect him? Because I gave my word. Though he may be beyond redemption, he acts not for his own sake, but for the good of others. His testimony will make Limsolomisa a safer place. Now lower your axe. Thank the 12 you got here when you did. It didn't take long for us to find out it was all a ruse. But by then, she'd already brought enough time to carry out her plan. Lucky for us, you three weren't so easily duped. Of course, she's not the only yellow jacket to bear a grudge against Goldwitz, but I never thought any of us would go to such lengths. A fine bloody mess this is. A bine floody, okay.
What have you been drinking tonight, Ronzi?
Absolutely nothing. I had Lucozade, and now I've got some gamer subs. That's it. While we may have been waylaid somewhat, our orders to escort Golderworld still stand. Before we go, I want to thank you for all you've done. Truth is, I ain't got long to live. Even if I can escape having my head lopped off, sickness will get me sure enough. You could have lived out your days as one of the leading figures in the underworld, rich and powerful. What made you turn yourself in? Since before I can remember, I've been cheating and killing to put food in me belly and gil in my pocket. And I was good at it too. Worked me way up to the top. But the top of what? A bunch of liars, swindlers and murderers. And when I found out only a few moons left, I realized Limsa's the way it is because of people like me. It ain't gonna be that way though. Not if I say my piece. In that case, we'd best get you to Limsa, post haste. Aye, before I kick the bucket, lead the way. No, I mean, he's a dead man either way. That was rather more eventful than I anticipated. I must say, however, that you and yours performed admirably. Performed? I'm glad. Look! Look! Alright? I just can't talk. I don't know what you're expecting of me. Yes, English is my first language. Does not mean I speak it well. I'm glad.
Have a second language?
No, I don't!
There's no point saying English is your first language.
English is my only language.
Yeah, I speak English an idiot. Because I've worked in retail.
Yeah. I'm glad our part's over, but I wonder what will happen to Goldwitz. I always said that one. You have done right by me. For that, I thank you. Not the most direct route, but we got here in the end. All that remains is for Goldwitz to give his testimony. On behalf of the Yellow Jackets, for my thanks. You've kept your word. It's my turn. Fare you well. Every city has its problems. This one more than most. It's high time we moved on. Seeing as we've been to Alamigo, Grindania, Aldania, and Limsolomisa, that just leaves Ishgard. don't exactly thrive in cold climates, though. Just get yourself a decent overcoat, and you'll be fine. Hey, we're putting on the big coat.
Nobody
Well
gets
then.
Smiley.
Yeah. Go on, Smiley. Well then, let's be off. Brr. Why would anyone want to live here? Even with these thick coats, I'm frozen to the bone. I'll admit, it's a fair bit colder than I was expecting. Not that it's anything to be concerned about. That's easy for you to say. You'll get used to it soon enough, I'm sure. Anyway, Ilya, it seems that instead of offering work via the Adventurers Guild, Ishgard's Temple Knights issue leaves. Although they do not appear to be any clients in need of protection, it's only a matter of time before something comes our way. Until then, be sure not to let your skills or your gunblade grow rusty. Of defectors and defenders, Radovan and Sophie's expressions are as somber as their surroundings. We Hrothgars are quite used to snow and ice, so we sometimes forget the problems it poses for other races. This morning, a homeless here lad was found laying stone cold in the streets. When they came to carry him away, he was frozen solid like a statue. The poor thing can't have been more than 20 summers old. We asked the Temple's Knights if there was something we could do, and we were told they had the perfect assignment for us. Our client this time is Reese of Garland Ironworks. Their founder, Sid Garland, is one of the few Garleans to have turned his back on the Empire, and is a hero to many living under their rule. I wonder if I might have the honor of meeting him in person. At any rate, we must first head to the Sky Steel Manufactory. I mean, you might, Radovan. Is it true that Sid is the one who introduced Magitech to Eorzea? So, this is one of Sid Garland's workshops. Good evening. I take it you're the bodyguard sent by the Temple Knights? There's someone I'd like you to protect. A recently defected Garlean engineer, as it happens. I'll not bore you with the details, but he is to oversee the installation of a cerulean heating system. We're hoping it would avert tragedies like the one that recently occurred in the Broom. Yes, we saw the body being carried away. Terrible sight it was. If this engineer friend of yours needs safe passage here, we'll gladly help. Unfortunately, the Empire does not take kindly to desertion, especially when the man in question is one of its most esteemed scientists. We've received word of a group known as the Aludae have been dispatched to see that he never reaches Ishgard. Gods be good. I've heard of them. Prisoners offered an opportunity to reduce their sentence through loyal service to Garlemald by all accounts. They fight like men possessed, desperate to earn their freedom. Worst of all, They're led by Victus Quo Massalia, a man whose cruelty knows no bounds. As a soldier, he reached the ranks of Pilus Prior, but was relegated after butchering a village of innocent civilians, purely to sate his own bloodlust. Even his fellow Garleans were disgusted by these barbaric acts. Yet that did naught to damage his reputation as a skilled warrior equal to Gaius van Belsar himself. During my imprisonment, Virtuous Quo Massalia came to enlist me. I told him I'd sooner rot in jail than serve under a rabid dog like him. As you can imagine, he was far from pleased with my refusal and tried to persuade me by using my Magitech collar to administer countless electronic shocks. I'll never forget the look in his eyes as he pushed that button over and over. Of course, not everyone is as resilient as Radovan. Many who fought for the Alude do so against their will, though they're no less deadly for it. By the Fury, if I'd known the dangers involved, I would have called the whole thing off. It's too late now, though. The airship is already on its way to Corthus. It should be arriving at the Observatorium. Sadly, we couldn't gain permission to have an Imperial craft dock in the city for massive security. From the rendezvous point, we'll proceed the rest of the way on foot. Once we're safely inside the Gates of Judgment, we'll consider the mission a success. Your friend is risking his life for the sake of others. Reese, I give you my word that he will reach Ishgard safely. Listen, Sophie. You know as well as I do that the Alude are ruthless as they are tenacious. For that reason, I want you to stay behind. You think you can take them on without me there to heal you? Don't get me wrong. I'm grateful to have you by my side, but against foes like that, Ilya and I will struggle to protect you and the engineer. Protect me? Look, Radovan, we protect each other, remember? Or perhaps you see me as nothing but a burden? Fine, have it your way. Not to rush you or anything, but we should get going. I'll meet you at the airship landing on the top of the tower. Radovan, before we leave, there's something I'd like to make clear. I didn't mean what I said to Sophie. I think she's an excellent conjurer and more than capable of taking care of herself. But this is Vitus Quo Massalia we're dealing with, a monster who delights in toying with his prey. I can't let her face that kind of danger. You see, Sophie and I have been inseparable ever since we escaped our Garlean captors. When I discovered what had befallen my family, I came close to taking my own life, and I might have even gone through with it if Sophie hadn't stopped me. She'd lost loved ones too, but she had never given up hope. Sophie helped me realize that there is still a place in this world for me. In fact, it was her idea that I become a bodyguard. Although no one will ever replace the family I lost, she helped fill that void in my life and gave me reason to carry on. Ha! If she were here now, she would tell me to stop being such a sentimental old fool, or words to that effect. Anyway, the sooner we finish this assignment, the sooner I can get back here and apologize to her. Yeah, and you better. Alright, so it's up here.
I'll be back in a few, Wanzi.
Okie dokie. I get the impression they've been waiting for us. Perhaps I spoke over long? Now that you're here, allow me to introduce the man you'll be escorting. A Kato Nan Mamula at your service. Or should that be Kato Mamula now that I'm in Nishgard? Is something the matter? I see the one who applied the shock collars to him. No, it's nothing. Well then, shall we begin? Yeah, there's something more going on with this. Hey, Albert. They found us. That's the way. Give them what for. The Allodane knew we were coming. Hell's bells, they must have seen that airship from miles away. I'll stay with the engineer. You go on ahead and draw them out. We'll rendezvous at the camp to the north. Roger, roger. Ooh, okay. There are quite a few we'll need to do. So I could re-up the last one. Get another charge in my blade. There we go. now into Camp Dragonhead. Hopefully they made it without too much of an incident. Some of the Alloday stayed in their hiding places until you'd passed. One of them got to Reese. He's hurt, but it could have been a lot worse. So I'm sorry. They caught me by surprise. We made it this far, but Vitus is still out there. If this is just a taste of what the Alloday have in store for us, our best option is to avoid confrontation altogether. Mamalula and I will sneak past them whilst you and Reese stay behind. The two of us will stand a better chance of than a group of four. No, we should stick together. I know how you feel, but sometimes discretion is the better part of valor. You see the sense in this, don't you? Yeah. We'll meet back in Ishgard. My colleagues will contact me via Linkpo once Master Mamula has arrived in Ishgard. In the meantime, we should lie low. We don't want to alert the Alloday to our presence any more than we already have. Oh, and I'd better get these wounds looked at. Why do I get the feeling that this is an entire ruse, that he's not defecting, that this entire thing was just so they could get Radovan? Thank goodness you're alright. You've been gone so long, I came looking for you. I met a few nasty characters on the way here, but I soon sent them packing. Wait, where's Radovan? And that engineer you're supposed to be escorting? Kato Nan Mamula? If the two of them are together, then Radovan never talks to anyone about it, but he came from a place called Bozja Citadel. It was utterly destroyed in a Garlean experiment gone wrong. In charge of the plan were Midas Nan Garland and his right-hand man, Kanto Nan Mamula. Oh. Oh, is that why he wants to see Sid to exact revenge on for... Oh. Radovan's opposition to Bozja being used as a testing grounds for potentially dangerous magitech led to his imprisonment, and his fears were proved correct when the city was obliterated. There's a strong chance that he's planning to exact his revenge. We have to stop him. They headed towards Ishgard, yes? We should be able to follow their tracks. There's no time to lose. Okay, I was not expecting that turn. Alright. I need a bike up to try and find these. Oh wow, yeah, they've gone far away. Alright, we will see you there.
Hello.
Hello!
So, you know how Eureka is what I'm being referring to as field content?
Yeah.
There is similar content for Shadowbringers,
Right.
which is when this job was released.
Yeah.
And that content is in Bozja.
Ah, okay.
So keep some of the info you're getting about that in mind
Yeah.
for when we get to that content.
Yeah. And also, interestingly enough, considering what I just learned from the conversation, that it was this guy, Kato, and Sid's dad that was involved in the destruction of that place.
Mm-hmm.
It gives an interesting new meaning to why Radovan would want to meet Sid.
Yeah.
It might not be because he wants to admire or like have a chinwag about, you know, defecting from Garlemald, and more just exacting revenge upon the only descendant he can of the man who destroyed who destroyed that place.
Well, it's going to depend a lot upon what he knows about Sid and his backstory and his relationship with his father.
True.
You may recall from the rarely seen Gaius monologue.
Yeah, very rarely seen. Yeah. What,
Um,
you mean you mean the one we don't pay attention to anymore?
yeah. Um,
But yeah, no, I mean, like, I mean, yes, true. That would be something to take into consideration. But I mean, being blind, people get blinded just by what is in front of them, regardless of
yeah.
any known information that they may or may not have. So it's very now interesting putting that in perspective of this new information that those earlier comments that he made.
Yeah. But it is. It's all part of larger and longer
Stories.
weaving
Yeah.
of storylines together.
Yeah. For my homeland, for my family. Boja. Ilya. Stay back. This fiend robbed me of everything I held dear. Don't deny me my vengeance. You swore to protect him. I will not beg for your forgiveness. However, I ask that you hear my final words. Midas and I knew there were risks involved with the experiment, but we did not foresee that it could fail so catastrophically. I have lived with unending, agonizing guilt ever since. From that day forth, I have sought redemption, a chance to somehow right the wrongs I had committed. That is why I asked Midas's son, Sid, to aid in my defection from Garlemald, that my knowledge and expertise may be put to good use. But I always knew that the sins of my past would return to haunt me. I submit myself to your judgment. Does the word of a gunbreaker mean nothing? Have you forgotten about gun worlds? I'm gonna use that one. Does word of a gunbreaker mean nothing? What have I become? My honor as a gunbreaker. As a man, I've thrown it all away. You are the last of us now. Yeah, but that assassin is still out there. Oh, there we go. You want us to kill him now, sir? No. The old goat can wait. It's the prowling lion I want. Yes. Your head will make a fine trophy. No, I should trust my gut and head up there and see what's up there. Is Mamamula alright? And where's Radovan? He walked off. Wandered off? But we've still got a job to do. And I dread to think what might have happened if you hadn't stopped him. Come on, Ilya. With or without Radovan, we still have a job to do. Let's get Mamamula to Ishgard. I noticed that Radovan acted rather strangely when he first met Master Mamamula. But I had no idea he tried to kill him. Thank goodness for you and Sophie. I shall not squander this second chance at life. You have my eternal gratitude. After the trouble you had reaching Camp Dragonhead, I'm pleasantly surprised that the Aludei kept away for us for the remainder of the journey. Yes, fortunate indeed. All's well that ends well, as the saying goes. One thing that still troubles me, though. If that Vitus Quul Messelia is as ruthless as you say, I doubt the walls of Ishgard will deter him from pursuing his target. As such, Master Mamamula will be closely guarded until we can be certain it's safe. Yes, it would be a shame if I were kept from fulfilling my obligations. I hope that the next time we meet, I shall have glad tidings to share. We managed to get Mamula here unharmed. But in doing so, we've lost sight of Radovan. He could be anywhere by now. But we've been through too much for me to turn my back on him now. If he decides to get his act together, he knows where to find me. Until then, we'd better be on the lookout for the Aludei. I doubt we've seen the last of them. Oh, I mean, I'm sure they're lurking around. Steel against steel. Sophie is beginning to wonder if Radovan will ever return. For better or worse, the Aludei are nowhere to be seen. Reese and the others seem to think they've abandoned their mission and gone back to Garlemald, which I highly doubt. For them, failure simply isn't an option. But what I want to know is, where is Radovan? I've a good mind to pack up and leave him here, or at least find somewhere warmer to wait for him. If there's one thing I can't bear, it's standing about doing nothing, especially somewhere as bitterly cold as this. I know. Let's go and ask the Temple Knights if they have any work for us. What took you so long? I've already been and spoken to them. Anyway, there's a client looking for protection. They wish to remain anonymous. We're supposed to meet them at a place called Twin Pools, which is in Western Corthus, apparently. Seeing as we've nothing better to do, we may as well go and find out what they want. It should pass the time until Radovan comes back, if nothing else. That's awfully suspicious. Because, you know, that's in the middle of nowhere. Anyway. Away we go.
I don't know what you're talking about, suspicious.
I'm suspicious of everything.
Are you suspicious of your suspicion?
Yes.
Good way to be.
My prayers have been answered. I was beginning to think the Temple Knights had forgotten about me. I do hope you will forgive my need for secrecy. The nature of my request is very sensitive, you see. Now, if you'd be so kind as to follow me. Oh yeah, this is clearly isn't a trap. Color me surprised. Ugh, I can't break free. Wriggle all you want, little fly. Nothing escapes my web. Nah, that would be a shame for you to die without knowing the name of the spider who ensnared you. I am Vitus Quel Messelia, commander of the Aludae. When we came to collect that old goat who had strayed from the herd, I never expected to find a prowling lion. Or should I say, warrior of light. Oh, I thought he was after Radovan. There are many in Garlemald who would be delighted were I to present your course. And I doubt that restoring me to Pilus Prior will suffice. No, Legitus would be far more fitting. Vitus Van Messelia has such a wonderful ring to it. Yes. So close, I can almost taste it. Your tale ends here. Radovan, where the bloody hells have you been? Tracking the Aludae. That's how I knew they'd come after that's how I knew they'd come after you, Ilya. Prisoner 1441, if I'm not mistaken. First you refuse my kind offer, then you have the audacity to escape. And now this. Whatever am I to do with you? You're not the only one with a few tricks up his sleeves, Vitus. When we first encountered the Alude, I noticed the collars they were wearing. I had one myself not so long ago. This must be your way of maintaining discipline. I took one of them to Mamula, who engineered a device similar to yours. How ironic that the very collars you are so fond of could be turned against you. Ooh. Worthless dogs. Of course I never needed the Alude or those Magitech tramps to slay the likes of you. But I prefer leaving nothing to chance. No matter, we'll just have to settle this the old-fashioned way. Speaking of which, where did you find those antiques? If you think they can compare to the Garlean gunblade, you're wrong. Very wrong. As much as I'd like to fight him alone, there is more at stake here than my pride. We must rid the world of this beast once and for all. Ilya, Sophie, follow my lead. When I told you he was around. Okay. Whoop. Holy, okay. That was hell of a punch. Nope. Oop. Oh, now it's one-on-one. Oh god, okay.
Bacon weave.
A bacon weave. Oh my Jesus Christ. I mean, okay, on par with Gaius? Sure, I think you might be better than Gaius. Oh, hurry up. Get first move out the way. Oh, bacon weave again. Gonna go here, here, then here. Didn't have Super Polite to protect me that time. Ugh, okay. Then we're almost done. How dare I? Quite easily. I never thought I'd live to see the day that Vitus Quell Messelia met his match. You are a better gunbreaker than I ever was. And for what it's worth, I'm sorry for all the trouble I've put you both through. You're sorry? I should bloody well hope so too, you great elf. What were you thinking threatening Mamulama like that? Or Mamula like that? Not to mention leaving us to escort him to Ishgard. When Ilya found me and Mamula, I noticed that Aloaid was watching us from a nearby clifftop. I thought it was strange that they passed up the opportunity to attack us, so I made it appear as though I'd abandoned you and started following them in secret. I discovered their primary target was now the Warrior of Light, not Kato Mamamula. Their scouts saw you on the way to Camp Dragonhead and reported it to Vitus, who then pulled off the ambush to see for himself if the information was valid. Powerful as he was, he would never show his hand unless he was certain of victory. So he waited to make his move. One thing I did know for certain is that even if the three of us fought together, we wouldn't stand a chance against the full might of the Alude. That was when I decided to consult our fugitive engineer. We talked into the early hours of the morning until we reached an understanding, and he agreed to construct the Magitech control device. In order for the plan to work, I would have to remain hidden till the very last moment, even from the two of you. But I thought you needed time alone to think about what you'd done. The remorse I felt for dishonoring myself was no act. When I realized Mamula's identity, I wanted to confront him about Bozja. But I needed to get him away from you and Reese. I never had any intention of killing him. All I wanted was for him to admit his crimes. But it still gave me a sick sense of satisfaction to see him on his knees, defeated. That is when I knew I betrayed the ideals of the Gunbreaker, that I abandoned my honor. I want to thank you for guiding me back to the true path. With Vitus gone, any remaining members of the Alude are free from his control, and are likely to be treated as fugitives running from the Empire. In any case, I think it is safe for Mamula to come out of hiding now. Wow, that was a hell of a fight. I'm assuming we will see more of Bacon Weave soon enough.
It's actually an older marker.
Really?
Yeah. They've removed it from a lot of places. The first place I encountered it was the Crystal Tower.
Oh, okay.
That final boss on the Labyrinth of Ancients.
Yeah.
And it's not there anymore.
Oh, okay. Though I may never forgive Mamula for what he's done, he strives to atone for his sins, as I do mine. It is not for me to judge him. And for all his talk about honor, Radovan can be a right sneaky bastard when it suits him. I have to keep my eye on him. Allow me to express my gratitude for vanquishing the Alude, which I understand was due in no small part to Radovan's marvelous idea involving the Magitech collars. I am glad to hear the device I cobbled together functioned as intended. Yes, we couldn't have done it without your help. Vitus alone pushed the three of us to our limits. Had the Alude joined the fighting, things would have ended very differently. We owe you our lives. All things considered, it was the least I could do. A remarkably simple matter, in fact, compared to my next endeavour, the installation of Ishgardian's cerulean heating system. While I may never be able to adequately repay the kindness I have been shown, I must begin somewhere. Until we meet again. And we never saw him again. Ilya, since I first met you, I knew you had the potential to become a gunbreaker. As the only one of my clan to escape the destruction of Bozja Citadel, I thought the art of the gunblade would die with me. Now that I have passed on all that I know to you, my successor, I feel there is little for you to gain from taking on assignments with us. Yes, we can hardly expect the Warrior of Light to spend valuable time assisting us with our money-making schemes. Before we part ways, however, there is one last place I would like to visit with you. I hear a great many adventurers who hope to make a name for themselves head to Revenant's Toll. I imagine there will be plenty to keep us busy. Yes, you could join our organization, the Scions. But more than anything, I am hoping to find others whom I can impart the teachings of my clan. Once people see you with your gunblade strapped to your back, I'm sure it will pique their curiosity. So, will you come with us? It seems like a funny location for a town, but it certainly is lively. I must confess, we would have struggled to find this place without you. Yes, when I first heard about a remote settlement populated almost entirely by adventurers and the like, I was expecting it to be a lot more lawless and chaotic. Knife fights over card games, that sort of thing. What a pleasant surprise it turned out to be. With a little luck, I'll find candidates to train as gunbreakers. Although it goes against the traditions of my clan to teach outsiders, meeting you has proved to me that we were being overly cautious. You see, the gunblade is forged for one purpose, to protect. We feared that its teachings would fall into the hands of those who would seek to oppress and conquer, such as the Garleans and the Allegians before them. Centuries of being beset by enemies on all sides taught us to fear and mistrust those not of our clan. That is why we kept our art such a closely guarded secret. But when you came to our rescue that day, you acted without a thought for your own safety, to aid those in need. This is the true essence of the Gunbreaker. You have your own ideals to protect, your own promises to keep. Go forth, Ilya, and follow your path wherever it may lead. Alright, why is it holding it like that? Am I reminded of it being like a Power Rangers power coin or something?
Because that's the pose they used to make.
It is, isn't it? Or whatever they would use to morph, you know, it doesn't have to be the things, right? Ugh. You must complete the main scenario quest Shadowbringers.
Yeah. So
Must
that's
have
basically
completed-
clear the Shadowbringers expansion.
Oh, what, for me to do my next one?
Yeah.
You must have completed the role quests to have loved and lost. Once you have done so, the gunbreak the next one will be available from Radovan.
So it gets a little funky
Okay,
in Shadowbringers.
that's our next one, right?
Yeah.
All right.
But you don't have job quests, you have role quests. And that basically means all the tanks do the same story. All of the healers do the same story as each other. They're different. The tank story is different to the healer story.
Yeah.
And the same with the DPS classes.
Yeah,
But they
they
are overall linked together as well.
right.
And you get additional quests and content once you complete those role quests for each role.
Right, so once I complete those role quests, I would then be able to do... I would then come to him and I would get additional quote-unquote story quests related to the Gunbreaker class.
Yes.
Not
Now,
necessarily gaining any unlocks.
I think it is only the tank role quest you will need to complete to unlock the Gunbreaker one.
Right.
But there will be similar
Requirements for the other
additional
ones.
quests for the other ones.
Right.
Shadowbringers is 5 roles. Tank, healer, magical DPS, and physical DPS.
That's 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because the physical DPS, like Dancer, Bard, and Gun and
Machinist.
Machinists were all
Yeah.
were all treated the same, and then it was like what, Endwalker or Dawn Trail, they split them into 2 separate ones.
It's Endwalker. Yeah, where
Yeah.
you got into melee and ranged and
Physical.
magical
Yeah.
DPS were the the DPS splits.
Yeah.
Tank and healer staying the same.
Yep.
But yeah, it is well worth doing all of those. Especially with Shadowbringers. Shadowbringers brings a lot of very interesting story, content and lore into those role quests for each role.
Yeah.
And even more so at the completion when you get the additional quests. There's some really good storytelling in that. So this is why I have urged you and Mox to play and level each type of role,
Yeah.
because yeah, it's keeping you guys from like specializing or doing a preferred role, but it's better to get to the point where the opportunity to learn more, and see more content and get more of the story is suddenly locked behind, you know, oh, wait a minute, I now need to go and level one of the healers, or, you know, the magical DPS jobs that I've not touched.
Yeah, that's fair. Being able to fill into any of the positions makes more sense. I started with the healer because, I mean, I know that healers can be in demand or in short supply.
Yeah.
Not everyone wants to be a healer because it is seen as a thankless job.
It's seen as a high pressure.
Yeah.
This is also why tanks end up in short supply, because the roles come with responsibility.
Yeah. While DPS can hurdy-dur just hit buttons and do whatever.
Yeah. I punch the bad guys to make big numbers come out.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Right, I think I'm going to have to call it a night there, Ronzi, because I am on the verge of falling asleep.
No, that's fair. I was thinking of calling it there myself anyway.
So, I shall let you do your outro and everything, and just log off, say goodbye.
Yeah, that's cool. Wait, I gotta get back to a closing point anyway.
So, have fun.
Yeah,
if
you as well.
Still left in your chat. See you next time.
There are a few, I think, maybe. But yes, take it easy, and I'll speak to you again soon.
Aye, have fun.
Bye-bye now. Alright, yep. Exit the game. Alrighty, YouTube. Thank you very much for watching. If you made it to the end of this video, just know that you are awesome. You could hit that like, comment, or subscribe button. Well, that would be mighty grand of you. There will be links down below as well for the lore objects, merge store, and my throne list. They help me out a ton. Just a brief reminder as well for you that, at least over on Twitch here, we'd love to see you. Any money that I get, that's from from subs, gifted subs. No, there's no obligation to do that. Or just mainly just the ad revenue. That's where a lot of my money comes from. All of that's kind of going to Zelda games as of the moment, or art or other stuff related to the stream. So anything coming, anything I can get really helps out. But you know, just like more eyeballs just makes things a lot easier. And also every sub acquired, it gets us one step closer to the Legend of Zelda cosplay. So, until next time, YouTube, may you stay safe in this broken masquerade.